Hi, fabulous man. Just wanted to send you a video, Geoff. I meant to do one back when you were turning 90, and I didn't get round to doing it, so I'm sorry about that. I've chosen a nice background here, which is beaches. It seemed to be with palm trees and all the like. It could be northern Queensland, it could be somewhere through the Pacific, but it could be anywhere that you want to think that it might be. Just a few things I wanted to say. The first is just to thank you for being my second father. Eric died very young, and I was left quite adrift for a while. And you being my second father really did help me on many occasions, all the way through to now. So it's always been important to me that I've always known that you were there for me. Second thing is I wanted just to commend you and say how special you are in terms of your intellectual endeavors all of your life. You've always been interested in all versions and views of thought, and your analysis and your desire to be able to understand what's going on around you rather than just leaving it to wild thoughts and stereotypes really does make you stick out. I remember a long time ago when I was going off to Oxford, you wrote me a lovely letter. It was somewhat difficult to translate. I went around to Tony's and Mum's place, and we put it at the end of the table like a special manuscript. And we had a very nice lunch, and then both Tony and Mum tried to decipher it, and we worked our way through it. So they were the code breakers for your handwriting. I understood some of it, but I didn't understand all of it until they were able to tell it to me. But the gist of it was that I was going to Oxford, not to Cambridge, and you were saying congratulations and well done. And then you started to list a whole range of people who I should catch up, not because they thought like you, but they were the best people in their areas. And so you told me to go and introduce myself to Chris Bliss and to Jim Merleys and to others. And I can remember arriving in Oxford and going to a welcome, and in the room was Chris Bliss and Jim Merleys, and I went up and introduced myself and said I was a friend of yours and all the rest, and they were uncomplimentary, and I just thought, bastards. Here was Geoff being completely inclusive and saying you should understand all ideas and all views of the world. And then these two pompous gits were saying the opposite. Now, I've told you this story before, and you were much more generous. He said, oh, well, it was nice that they actually knew who I was. So I thought that was a lovely response from you. But I, on your behalf, just thought, bastards. But I did take your advice, and I listened carefully to them, and they espoused all this neoclassical claptrap, and I learned from the best of them as we were going along. Anyway, your intellectual thoughts is really second to none. The third is your family loves you very much, and you shower love on them all through their life. And I've enjoyed watching that and being part of it at times. But you are very special in the way that you've cared for your family and shown it through your life as you go along. The final thing is really your life crusade for fairness and justice. You've been special in that way all the way through, and equality. Supporting people, supporting very difficult causes just because they're fair and just. My first memories of you is to do with the moratorium, the marches against the Vietnam War all those years ago. It was quite a special protest movement because by the time I can really remember what was going on, it would have moved on from just being a student protest to one which had a lot of middle class and different groups that were being brought together. And then there was Brian Medlin, who was just wanting hate and fight and violence. And then there was the voice of reason of Geoff Harcourt, who just said this needs to be a peaceful protest. And very much you did win out in so many occasions, and the middle class did march peacefully behind very strange flags, whether they be the women's WILF, what was that? The Women's International Fellow, I don't know what WILF stands for anymore. But there was the Quakers, and there was the different unions, and there was the university students, of course, as well, so went along. But there was you fighting for justice, fighting for fairness, and making sure that you did it in an honourable way, and a non-violent way as we went along. So you were very special there. So just a very quick video to say that I love you very much. Look after yourself. Give Becky and Joan and Robert and Tim and everybody you can a cuddle, and give me a thought now and then. But I'm certainly thinking of you. Okay, bye now.